Hi, I'm Kathy Spencer. 5 years ago, I suffered from a massive stroke, and I've made such a great recovery through different things that helped me that I just feel it's my privilege and duty to give back to you. So I hope you'll find the information that I'm sharing today helpful. I want to do a couple things, just a couple things that we need to do first of all, and then I want to show you about the Bioness H200. First thing I want to share is something that really helped my shoulder. Is I had one of these balls, which you could even just get a cheap beach ball, and I picked my hand up. It happened to my dominant side, my right side, so I couldn't move my hand. So I picked up my hand and I put it on the ball, and just for my shoulder, and you want to make sure you keep your shoulders back and down because we tend to overcompensate and draw from other sides of our muscles to do this stuff. But you just want to put your hand on there and push it up as far as you can go, bring it back as far as you can go, take it to the side as far as you can go, and my hand would fall off and I'd have to pick it back up and put it on and take it to the other side as far as you can go. I also used a full-length mirror to watch myself to make sure that I wasn't cheating and I was keeping my shoulder back and down. And if you forget how to do it, use your side that's working better and then do it first, and then you'll know what you need to do with your side that was affected from the stroke. Another thing that I think was really crucial is I slept in and I'm not sure what it was called, but it was like a plastic mold that you put your hand on and velcroed across your hand to keep your fingers straight so that it didn't ball up and your arm didn't curl up. You want to keep that as loose as you can, and during the day I would massage my hand and arm as much as I could and always lay out my fingers on my lap so that they didn't curl up. Another thing I found extremely effective is visualizing my right hand. I play the piano, but even if you don't play the piano, you can number your fingers, your thumb number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can think of little songs that you learned when you were little. Mary had a little lamb, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. So you just number your fingers and think up songs, or even if you just do 1, 3, 5, 3, and just picture them moving. And do that for a half an hour a day, the same songs over and over and over, because we know with our brains, it takes constant repetition for our brains to reroute. God made miraculous brains that can reroute, but it takes repetition. So visualizing that, and now I want to show you about the H200 from Bioness. That is the machine that took me to the place where I am today. The machine I have on is by Bioness, B-I-O-N-E-S-S, and it's called the H200. And this is what did the repetitions for me to get my hand working. I started using this 9 months after my stroke, and I had no wrist and very little finger movement, and I could raise my arm about up to here. So after I got the Bioness machine, you put it on, and they come in different sizes, small, medium, and large, and a technician will fit it to your hand. So when you turn it on, it opens and closes your hand. And like I said, it takes repetition for the brains to reroute. And so you turn it on, and like it's opening my hand right now. I'm not doing anything. It's the electric stimulation that's opening up my hand. So I just got a few things from around the house. This is from the grandkids' toys. And so when it opened my hand, I tried to reach down. I'll wait till it opens my hand up. Okay, it's opening my hand. And then when the stimulation stops, I'm picking up a ball. And then I moved it out, and I would drop it into another container when it opened up my hand, because I couldn't open my hand by myself. So I picked up like large objects. See, it's opening up my hand again. I'm going to pick up another ball, and I had to hold it until the machine opened up my hand, and then that made me let go of the ball. I also then took some pens and pencils that I couldn't pick up really necessarily with my fingers because they weren't working that much. So I picked it up with my left hand, and then when the machine opened and closed my hand, I would hold the pencil, and I would reach out and put it down. And I was opening up my hand again, and I would take the pencil, try to work on that pincher grasp or grip, and then when it opened up my hand, I would lay it down. I wanted to do some different objects, so I found out in my garage, my husband had a lot of little nuts and bolts and screws, so I got some smaller, all different size objects, and I would pick that up, and I'd lay it over there. And then I'd pick it up again with my left hand, a little screw, and then when it closed, I did that, and I put it back in until I did all these things over and over and over again. I didn't go around the house and try 50 different things. I figure if I could open up my hand and pick up a ball, that I could open up my hand and pick up a glass, or I could open up my hand and pick up anything. And I just felt, and I'm not an OT and I'm not a doctor, but I have lived through this, it's the constant repetition, same thing, day in, day out, day after day, hour after hour, month after month, to get the rerouting of the brain. So I did this, and when it opened my hand up, I watched it and I said out loud, I'm opening up my hand, I'm picking up the ball, I'm putting the ball down. I'm opening up my hand, I'm picking up the pencil, I'm putting the pencil in the cup, or whatever it was that I was doing. After I did these objects, and it's amazing how, as we know, how tired your muscles get. I did light objects at first. After I got pretty good with that, I'm going to turn this off for just a second, I went to my pantry, which I'm going to have my husband video me in the pantry and show you what I did in there. But I picked up the soup cans, and again, every time it opened up my hand, I watched it and I said, I'm opening up my hand, I'm picking up whatever the object was, I'm putting the object down, because I wanted to use all my learning styles, seeing, hearing, and doing. And I think, again, I'm not an OT, but that just seemed to make sense to me for rerouting the brain. Okay, so here I am in my pantry. Pay no attention to how it's organized or not organized, but this is what I did. I stood in here every day after I did the table stuff, for probably 2 to 3 hours a day after day, week after week, month after month. And I said, when it opened up my hand, I said, I'm opening up my hand, I'm picking up the can, I'm setting the can down. And the reason I did it in my pantry is because I wanted to again, get the shoulder working well. So keeping your shoulder back and down, reaching up to different levels and down to different levels to get the use of the full arm. So I did that every day. I just opened up my hand, I'm picking up the can, I'm setting the can down. I'm opening up my hand, I'm picking up the can, I'm setting the can down, or whatever it is. The thing you have to remember is it takes the brain a long time. You know, if you've ever been around a newborn baby, you know they have very few connections. It takes 24 months for their brains to reroute, and the last thing to come is their small motor. So even though we lost ours like that and we'd like it back that fast, it took me from day one of the stroke 26 months of working 6 to 8 hours a day, arm and leg, to get the recovery that I have today. And if I take the machine off, it's very simple to take on and off, you can see I've gotten an amazing recovery. But a lot of people give up after the first few months, or they hear a doctor say, well, you get about all you're going to get back in the first 6 to 12 months. Not true. With the plasticity of our brain can change till the day we die. People using this machine 20 years post are getting some recovery. I don't know how much, every case is individual, but just don't ever give up. You have to keep working every single day. I'm going to check my notes, a couple other things I just want to say. Make sure that you journal, celebrate every success, because progress is bigger at first and is slower after that. But if you celebrate every success, like if maybe my arm could raise an extra inch, or I could just barely twitch this finger, that's huge, because that means your brain is rerouting. So keep a journal and say, well, last month I couldn't do that, and this is what I'm doing, and it keeps you motivated. One person said to me, you know, it's so boring doing the same thing over and over again. But if you tell yourself, it's not boring, I'm getting recovery, then that's exciting. So you want to be sure and be positive. Don't call this your bad side. Call it your weak side, your affected side, but don't refer to your body as your bad side. There's a great book called Stronger After Stroke by Pete Levine that has so many tips in it, a wealth of information. It's an all-inclusive book that you should buy and get to get more ideas on recovery. And just remember that God made miraculous brains that can reroute. This machine does the repetition for the brain to reroute, but we have to do the work. And so persevere with patience, and God bless you on your journey. If you want to email me, my email is kspencer, SPENCER88@att.net. Email me and I will be glad to help you on your journey of recovery. Thank you.